Kids A-Cookin', where kids come first and cooking is fun. I'm Karen, and Trevon is here to help me today. Trevon, tell us a little about what you like to do outside of school.
I like to watch TV a lot.
You like to watch TV?
And ride my bike, yes.
Today we're making perfect mashed potatoes. This is a great recipe. Perfect mashed potatoes are great comfort food, and they go with about anything, meatballs or almost any other main dish you might want to serve. We've already washed our hands. Be sure you do that before you get started. You ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. To make this recipe, you'll want to wash, peel, and quarter 4 to 5 large potatoes. We already have a couple done already, but we have 2 here. These are really large potatoes, aren't they, Trevon?
Yes.
So we're going to show you how to do this. Have you ever peeled a potato?
No.
You want to learn?
Yes.
All right. Take your potato. We're going to go over to the sink. It's really important to wash your potatoes before you do anything else. So you're going to rinse them really well. You can use a scrubby or you can use a vegetable brush, either way, to clean them off because they might have some dirt stuck in them. You want to wash them really thoroughly. Good? All right, you can just set that down. And then we're going to use a vegetable peeler, but, oh, you're going to use that one? Okay. And we're going to do it right here in the sink. If you wanted to do it on the countertop on a napkin, you could, or a paper towel, you could do that too. And you don't have to use a vegetable peeler. How's your mom peel potatoes?
With a knife.
She just uses a knife, doesn't she? But this is a little easier, particularly when you're teaching children how to do it. You just want to put it right here. You don't want to go too deep because you don't want to waste any potato. So you just want to take the skin off. Very good, but careful not to snag your thumb on that because that hurts. So hold it by the end if you can. Hold one end and just run it down to the tip. You want to get that end off there too. And then once you get that done, you can turn it around and do the other side. You're doing good. Now if you have places like that black spot, I wouldn't try to get that with the vegetable peeler. You can just cut that off with the knife later when you're cutting up the potato, okay? So don't worry about that. Get that little tip off of there. You get that? Okay, now let's go ahead and rinse them. You want to rinse yours? We'll get that part. You can set it right here if you want. Dry your hands. Do you want to? Okay. All right, just set it there. Let's go over to our cutting board. Now we're going to quarter these. If you quarter something, how many pieces is that? Do you know?
4.
Very good. So we need to cut it in half and then half again, right?
Right.
Be very careful. And cut it this direction. It's a big potato, isn't it?
Yes.
And you'll want to cut it this way. And you'll have 4 pieces. Now there were a couple little spots on your potato too that we want to take off. We want those black spots off of there, don't we? Mm-hmm. Were there any other ones? Just be very careful. Watch your fingers. Okay, we're going to add those to our pan. I'm going to put them in. Now if you want to cut those up smaller, you can. They just don't have to cook quite as long, but this is adequate. But if you want to cut them up in smaller pieces, you can. Now we're going to go back to the sink because we need to put enough water in here to cover our potatoes. Want to help me? There you go. Are they covered?
Yes.
All right. Let's carry this back. Be sure that you use a large pan and be sure to watch this pot because potatoes have a tendency to boil over. So use a pan larger than you would normally use to avoid a mess on your stovetop. Now you want to turn this on high. You can go ahead and turn that on, Trevon. Turn it this direction. Push down. There you go. And you turn it up to high and let it come to a boil so that you know what boils look like?
When it starts bubbling.
Lots and lots of bubbles. And once it's boiling, then you can turn it down a little bit and add the lid and just let it simmer for about 18 to 20 minutes and the potatoes will get very tender, okay? We're going to let that happen right now. You can test when your potatoes are done because they'll be tender enough that you can stick them with a fork or a knife, and if they're soft, then they're done. If it inserts easily, your potato is done. You want to try that, Trevon?
Sure.
Does it seem like they're done?
Yes.
They're very tender, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay, so next we just need to turn off the stove, and we're going to take this and drain the water off of it. Now this is hot, so be sure that an adult does this part of the recipe, or that you at least supervise an older child, because the steam and the hot water are really hot and they can burn. So, you know, we're just going to do it in the colander at the sink, all right? I'm just going to go ahead and take them over there. And we'll just drain the water off just like this. We can just leave that there. Be sure those are drained. We're going to add that to our mixing bowl. Is it dripping?
A little.
We should have brought our bowl over to the sink. That would have been better, wouldn't it? Okay. Let's just set this out of the way. Our potatoes are ready, but now we need to add our other ingredients. In this measuring cup, we're going to measure 1 cup of milk. Can you pour that for me? We just want to, again, we want to watch our measurement to be sure we're right at the 1 cup line. So pour kind of slow. I'll hold the cup for you, and we'll do an eye measure. Go ahead. Slow down. Whoa, there. See how when you get down here, you can look right at the 1 cup level? You're right at the line. And then to that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of margarine. So we have 1 stick here, and you just want to measure 2 over. And unwrap that. We're going to add that to our milk. And then you want to microwave this in the microwave for probably about a minute until it's melted together and warm. Okay, our margarine's pretty soft. I think this will mix up well. So we're just going to add that. Don't touch the cup, just touch the handle. Pour about half in to start. You don't want too much liquid in there. It's really messy. You can go ahead, a little bit more. There you go, that's good. All right, now I think it's helpful when you start mixing. You can use a hand masher or you can use an electric mixer, either one. We have a mixer here to use today. But if you just put this in here and turn it on, it's all going to fly and make a big mess. So what I think is helpful is if you just kind of use your mixer to mash the potatoes like that before you ever turn it on, okay? Just mash them up a little bit so they're broken up and they'll mix in a lot neater. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we want to start by turning it just on low speed. Are you ready? Can you hang on to it? All right. Can you do both? Okay, go ahead. Okay, grab that rubber spatula, Trevon. So we want to get all these chunks that are on the side of the bowl mixed in too, okay? So just kind of go around, push them all down in there. I think we need a little more liquid. What do you think? Think they should have a little more in there?
Yes.
All right. You can add a little bit more at a time. Go ahead and pour that in. Okay, now you can just keep adding milk till it's the consistency that you like it. And you might also want to add a little salt and pepper for seasoning. You want to sprinkle a little of that in. You might not want all that, but you can just kind of sprinkle it if you want, however you like. I like pepper. Do you like pepper in your mashed potatoes?
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay, well don't put that much in if you don't like that. Well see, there you go, add more. You must like it. You want to add some salt? You can just kind of sprinkle some of that in.
Salt is good.
Okay. How do they look to you, Trevon?
Good.
You have made homemade mashed potatoes. You didn't know you could do that, did you?
No.
You know, almost nothing is better than homemade mashed potatoes with almost any meal. And it's nothing like potatoes out of a box. These are so much better. You want to go see how ours turned out?
Sure.
Okay. There are many different types of potatoes, and each has a best cooking method. Thanksgiving isn't the only time of year to enjoy sweet potatoes. They are an excellent source of vitamin A and C, and they can be baked or boiled. Russet potatoes have a high starch content with low moisture. These potatoes bake up mealy and fluffy and are the best choice for mashed potatoes and baked potatoes. Yukon Gold potatoes are medium starch potatoes and aren't as fluffy as russet potatoes. They have a buttery taste and appearance when cooked. Potatoes that are best used in potato salad are red and white potatoes. These have a high moisture and low starch content, which makes them have a creamy texture. They hold together well and keep their shape after being cooked. When buying potatoes, look for clean, smooth, firm textured potatoes that don't have cuts, bruises, or discoloration. Don't buy potatoes that are soft or have decay. Potatoes with green patches have been exposed to direct lighting too long. Cut off the green area before cooking because it could taste bitter. The rest of the potato will taste just fine. Before storing potatoes, look them over and use any bruised ones first. Since dampness can cause decay, it is best not to wash potatoes before storing. A cellar is an ideal place to store potatoes, but since most of us don't have a cellar, a cool, dark, dry place is fine. There is a myth that potatoes are fattening. By themselves, they're not high in calories. A medium potato has 88 calories and is a great source of complex carbohydrates. It's the high-fat toppings or spread that can add up to extra calories. For good health, have a potato today. Comfort food at its best. We made homemade mashed potatoes. You want to see if we got out all the lumps?
Yes.
Okay. You know, you can try different toppings on mashed potatoes, such as salsa, cheddar, Parmesan cheese, crumbled cooked bacon, chopped basil, or chili powder. They're all great additions. How do they taste, Trevon?
Good.
You have created homemade mashed potatoes. You'll never have to buy instant again, will you?
No.
It's not exactly like creating fire, but it's darn close, isn't it? For more information about this recipe and helpful hints to make cooking easier, go to our website, and we'll see you next time on Kids Are Cooking.